Okay, guys, this is called Sweet Death, how sugar is making us sick. We're only going to do about 10 minutes. It's about a 45-minute video. But here you go. And just another video showing how enslaved you are.
What if you heard that sugar, something we eat every day, was largely responsible for the worldwide explosion in obesity and some of the most chronic diseases of our time? And what if you heard that sugar is addictive, and yet it's added to way more food products than you ever imagined? Would you think that was just alarmist bollocks? So the first time I heard all about the sugar being toxic stuff was an American bloke on the telly, and to be honest, I just rolled my eyes because it seems like everything's toxic and bad for you these days.
You see how he responded when he first heard that sugar was toxic? Everything's toxic these days. And why do we do that? Why do we have that mindset, guys? Because life is fucking difficult because we're on slave programs, and any chance we get, we're looking for a dopamine hit or a cope or anything we can to make it worth living this fucking miserable existence, slavery life.
And I don't have a lot of sugar. I have some in my coffee, I have the occasional cronut, and I figure I'm allowed because I exercise. So I just thought, how bad can it really be?
I've been in and out of therapy with BetterHelp for a few years now, and it's made prioritizing my mental and emotional health.
To find some answers, I'm going to meet one of the world's most vocal critics against sugar. He's the man I saw on the telly, Professor Robert Lustig, and he's become a YouTube sensation.
So we are being poisoned by this stuff, and it's been added surreptitiously to all of our food, every processed food.
Every processed food.
How did this happen?
Professor Lustig is now internationally sought after for his potent anti-sugar message.
There are three things that sugar does that these other foodstuffs don't. Liver fat.
Guys, I just want to say something. I mean, how ignorant are we as a fucking culture that we need this fucking professor to tell us that sugar's bad for us? I mean, we literally just want to please ourselves so bad because we are in so much pain from our childhood trauma and abuse and being born into slavery that we kill ourselves with these things that make us feel good temporarily.
Cell aging, interfering with your brain's function.
Do you hear what he said? Cell aging. And the thing is, guys, this is just sugar we're talking about here, but cell aging comes from any food. We just said it the other day. Me and Brandon did that video, and we said, your cells are to be left alone. When you introduce poison, which any food your body treats as a poison, you cause cellular aging.
Functioning to regulate how much to eat. That makes it toxic.
Sugar? Toxic? Isn't that a bit shock jock? After all,
Toxic. Poison. If it's toxic, toxic is a poison, guys. They are poisoning you. Your whole food industry, your whole medical industry, they are poisoning you on purpose to keep you sick, to keep you the revolving door with the medical industry, to give you pills for the pharmaceutical industry, then to keep you working. It's all slavery.
water will kill you if you overdo it. Dr. Lustig goes even further. He compares sugar with one of the most toxic substances out there.
It's not the nicotine that's toxic, it's the tars that are toxic. The whole cigarette is toxic.
Professor Lustig, are you saying that the standard of evidence for the toxicity of sugar and the disease-causing effects of sugar are the same as for tobacco?
Absolutely.
And I go even further. This guy's fucking lying. He's gaslighting. He is a gatekeeper. He is only talking about sugar. That analogy for nicotine, that the nicotine isn't, the biggest toxic. It's the cigarette. The sugar is not the only toxic. It's the food.
How is it that people are still lagging behind in terms of their understanding of the disease-causing effect of sugar?
Nigel, why do you think I'm sitting down talking to you? Because your viewers need to understand that what they've been told, what they've been sold for the last 40 years is a bill of goods that has been designed specifically to make money for the food industry and to hurt them.
Food industry. They're industries, guys. Industries. It is built around making money, around capitalism, around crushing people, around slavery, around economics. It is not about humanity.
It's time to change the paradigm.
Well, something's got to change, because more than 65% of Kiwi adults are now obese or overweight, and nearly 33% of children.
That's disgusting, dude. That is so disgusting. These people are so extremely toxic. They're all of that fat, all of that shit is nasty. It's disgusting. You don't understand, guys. These are toxic, extremely toxic people walking around. And it's promoted. 65% in, what do you say? I think he's Kiwi. What is that? Aussie? Maybe New Zealand, I guess. New Zealand is Kiwi, right? But anyways, so that's just New Zealand. America's even worse. And they promote it. Look what they're doing now. They're promoting fat people in bikinis and saying it's sexy. Guys, they are doing everything to keep you guys on this hamster wheel of slavery. To the point where when you look in the mirror and you look like that, you go, oh, well, let me just watch this commercial and see. Oh, yeah, there's a whole bunch of people on there that look just like me in their bikinis. It's okay. And then you go and eat fucking McDonald's again.
And as I look around, I'm now wondering, how much is sugar implicated in all of this?
So the first question is, how much sugar do you need? And the answer is 0. There are no biological processes in the body that require dietary sugar.
There are no biological processes in the body that require food. If the body was left alone, the body is made of trillions of cells. The cells divide and work on their own. They feed themselves. Anytime a toxin or a poison is introduced, it breaks down the cell and causes cellular aging. That is what you're doing when you are consuming, when you are eating. I don't care if it's sugar or whatever else.
Your liver has a capacity to metabolize a finite amount. A little is okay.
A little is not okay. Just because your liver can process a finite amount, that just is all that is a defense mechanism. In case you come into contact with poison, your body can, handle so much.
It is not. When you overwhelm your liver's capacity to metabolize it, you get in trouble. And that is what we are seeing.
And he reckons that's because sugar is being slipped into everyday food without us knowing it. So all this stuff has got me thinking about how much sugar is in the food that I would normally buy. So I've come here to a typical supermarket so I can have a look.
Feeling healthy by leaps and bounds. Making a dinner that makes their whole day.
Right, so spreads. Now some of the stuff is obvious. Your chocolatey, nutty spread, you think that tastes nice. That's bound to have heaps of sugar. And it does. 2 teaspoons of sugar per serving. But you wouldn't expect, I wouldn't expect...
Guys, this is all of your food. Listen to how much sugar that is. 2 teaspoons of sugar per serving. And I bet you a serving's just over a tablespoon. Oh my God, they're killing you.
Say Marmite, I wouldn't expect to have, to be honest, any sugar in it. But in fact, it has 11.2 grams times 2.5, 28 grams of sugar in one of these little bottles, which is 7 teaspoons of sugar. Guys, this is disgusting. They are killing you. I would not have expected 7 teaspoons of sugar in a thing of Marmite. So you couldn't get more Kiwi than this. Tomato sauce. Oh my God. Per serving, right, so per squirt of tomato sauce, it's just over a teaspoon of sugar. So every, on the plate, over a teaspoon of sugar.
I've seen documentaries years ago on a lot of American foods are banned all over the world because of the amount of poison they put in them. Like in Europe, they won't allow as much sugar to go into their ketchup as we do over here. In America, a bottle of ketchup, they showed how it's made. Half the fucking bottle is sugar. Over half, I think it was like 60% of the bottle is sugar.
Okay, I don't know that. Mayonnaise, we'll go for the light, got the Heart Foundation tip. Okay, for every of mayonnaise that you put on your whatever, that's 1.5 teaspoons of sugar.
even more than the ketchup. Now, again, guys, he's a Kiwi, which I think is New Zealand, which I'm sure they have stricter rules on their food than we do in America. But a teaspoon and a half of sugar in one little squirt of mayonnaise.
Quite like tuna. Almost a teaspoon of sugar per serving. Down here, one of the old family favourites, baked beans. That has... Good God. Per serving, there's almost 4 teaspoons of sugar.
God! And you guys think this is okay?
I expect loads of added sugar in fizzy drinks, but it's come as a surprise to find out fruit juice is packed with it as well. Sugar occurs naturally in fruit, which is good, but when it's juiced, you get seriously concentrated sugars. It seems there's no escaping the stuff. What's becoming really clear to me as I'm wandering around and looking at all the stuff that I would normally buy, it's not so much that sugar's hidden, but it's kind of hidden in plain sight because it's in almost everything.
And that's what they do. They hide things in plain sight. How they do that is through the illusion they place over you. It can be right in front of you and you won't even see it. Somebody literally has to point it out to you. And half the time when they point it out to you, your brain refuses to recognize what they're saying because it causes cognitive dissonance and you have to go back to Stockholm Syndrome and defend what you're doing. You're not thinking. You are slaves. You are slaves.
Without knowing it, I've actually ended up eating quite a lot of sugar without really even thinking about it. Which has got me wondering, why is sugar in just about everything and who decides how much? So come along to talk to a food technologist who does that stuff for a living.
Well, I'm going to stop it there. That's a nice little cliffhanger. You guys can go finish watching that. It's called Sweet Death, How Sugar is Making Us Sick. But again, it's not just sugar. It's processed foods. It's any kind of fast food. It's anything that's not a whole food, guys. You are literally, even the whole foods, like I said, you're not supposed to eat. We have trillions of cells. The cells divide. The cells are self-regulating, self-feeding, self-autonomous systems. They need nothing. Everything introduced to a cell is a poison. That is why we die. That is why we age, because we are depleting our cells with food. And, of course, all the other poisons we take in.